Alright, good evening. Good to see you all again on this, nice, calm little, Sunday evening. So, here's the experiment. Here's something I've been looking forward to doing for, quite some time. Something that I delayed because, my brief attempt at going YouTube exclusive, I couldn't do this without tons of risk, or else leaving things unarchived, but now I'm back here, I can do that neat little, VOD audio split trick, so those of you catching this live can listen along with me, but, those of you on YouTube right now watching the VOD, you will unfortunately have to source the albums yourself that we're about to listen to. So, for those of you who have not seen, this is the first and what will hopefully, be a series of streams where I listen to classic jazz albums, trying to learn about the genre, because I think I've mentioned this before, it is one of the genres that I'm least, one of the trees that I'm least familiar with, which is kind of a problem because I'm a musician, and ideally, musicians know every genre, they can work in everything, unless they're like really specialized, really damn good at the one genre they work in. That's not me, though. I'd rather be a jack of all trades, even if that means I'll become a master of none. But again, with this genre, I don't even have that much skill to my name, so now we're gonna go ahead and start listening. Although, I'll give you a couple of rundown. So, I'll be honest with you all, I'm actually following an online chart that some kind soul made, specifically to help people like me who want to get into jazz but don't know where to start. And their recommended first album was this one, Kinda Blue by Miles Davis. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it. And again, those of you watching the VOD, it will start right about 3, 2, 1. So yeah. Right off the bat, this sounds significantly more relaxed than the other song I know that's called So What. Let's see, nice calm little double bass intro. Little piano. Having a little trouble picking out the key, but the age of the audio, that can't really be helped. Alright, let me know how the audio balancing is, by the way. Because again, we're not gonna save the audio of this, but we do, I do need to talk over this, because again, that's a fair use word, so I gotta blab over it. Okay, interesting little key change there. That said, I do not have perfect pitch, so I'm not going to be able to call out what they are off the top of my head. I wish I was that talented, but I'm not. So, at the risk of not having much productive to say, all I can say at the moment is nice first couple of riffs. Trumpet solo. Very less is more soloing approach. I like it. And I believe this is Miles himself playing it. I didn't, you know what, I'm going to be smart about this. I'm going to look up what the lineup was. So, let's see, he was indeed the trumpeter, but, Bill Evans was on piano, I see. For most of the album. Which, if we do go ahead and listen to more of, if this goes past episode 1, we're going to be listening to him, Bill Evans' work, later on, but... and alto saxophone. This is John Coltrane playing. Somebody else will be listening to. If not tonight, then later on. Because, I've been having an internal debate whether or not to, listen to 3 albums tonight or 4. At the moment, I'm leaning towards 3, but we'll, see how I'm feeling, later on. By the way, Coltrane. The jazz cats in the audience, no introduction needed for him. Just a second, I need to look something up so I'm not talking out my ass. Okay, so Giant Steps, he did write that one. Rather infamous little track, especially the Through the Fire and Flames of Jazz. People dread playing that. It's essentially, the big show of your skill. Which even in this relaxed environment of this song, you can tell. The dude can make some shit work. Alright, going back to listening a bit more, let's see, that sounded like a chromatic run, but I'm not sure. And now we're back in melodic territory. That was a nice little run there. That was interesting. Let's see. Key change. So, the drums are just sort of, a little simpler. Which is obvious. We're not listening to Buddy Rich here. Flash is not, we're not looking for Flash here. Jimmy Cobb is performing here, and, that's totally fine. Sometimes you just gotta lay it down. Man, they give Coltrane a long solo in this one. Like, not that I blame them, you got somebody that talented in your corner, you gotta have him play. Alright, no, my mistake. There were actually 2 saxophonists on this, alto and tenor. I can't tell them apart, I'm a fool. But again, this is why I'm doing this. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to, see if I can pick them out. Alright, piano's taking center stage now. Mr. Evans. So theoretically, piano solos should be easier to deconstruct because there's only one of every note. As opposed to guitar, where you can theoretically play one sort of set of notes several ways. Piano doesn't really have that, but I'm just not familiar with the instrument in general, so alright, so I think we're getting towards the end of this one. Obviously, no pop song structure here. Yeah, this is the main melody from the beginning, I remember this. I remember watching this video by Adam Neely, where he was teaching Rob Scallon how to play jazz, and he referred to this as the head. Just a sort of main theme you come back to after all the crazy soloing. So yeah, I'm mostly unfamiliar, but I do know some things here and there. That said, I can't say if that's a common way to structure it, but... Alright, fading out. So next up, gosh, what's this? So yeah, I'm not doing this, Freddy Freeloader is the name of this one. Very similar head to last time. Interesting. So they do, I believe that they are giving it some thematic consistency here. That's, good to know. Interesting. And reversal last time. We're starting with the piano solos. Interesting. Alright, so a different feel here. I can tell, last minor might not have been some sort of major. This is... or a minor. Last song was clearly a minor key. This one... best I can tell is some sort of major key. So yeah, I'm not that good. It's probably going to take me a bit to pick out the modes from here and there. Like, I'm more used to them being dead obvious. Like, oh, hey, look, that's a Mario cadence. That's clearly some Mixolydian shit. Like, the Zorn was a little more nuanced than that. That's gonna take me some time to really be able to pick it apart that way. So now, what I'm thinking of now is something interesting about piano solos is that theoretically you can. Never mind. Guess I'll have to come back to that one because now it's time for Mr. Davis to shine again. Yeah, I've noticed these first two songs. He doesn't seem to be doing any crazy technical shit. He seems to be more interested in something a little more soulful, a little more melodic. Interesting approach. Right. That was a little sustained a second ago. Yeah, so, trumpets I'm not too familiar with either, so... Can't really, pick them apart that well, but... I can tell, that was pretty clearly some milk mixture. That was interesting. So, now... And we got saxophone. Not sure, which one, I would assume lower is tenor and higher is alto. This should be tenor, but I'm not sure. Now we're shredding a bit more. Alright. Let me observe a bit more. That was interesting. Right, right. Alright. I was expecting them to transition instruments. That was a rare drum fill right there. I can't tell if that was a fake out or if that was just me not knowing what to expect quite yet. Let's see. Yeah, this is a real interesting solo so far. Going places. Alright, alright. Wonder if I should have been counting measures this entire time. That's something I've seen some session musicians do, where they're like actively listen, count BPM, measures and shit. Then again, I don't know if that would even be applicable here. This does not strike me as the kind of music would strike up a metronome too. Alright, back to the piano. Very dynamically dialed back here. There's probably some symbolism here, but I'm missing it. Back to the head again. So I guess that is the formula, at least for this album. Start and end with the same melody. Interesting. Fair enough way to do it. So I am looking at the time, and we're at the last minute of the song, so it is surprising they only let like 2 musicians solo for the duration of the song. I guess that's just me having expectations from the stereotypes. Anyways, next song we got Blue and Green. Wow, but I thought the last one was dialed back. See, this is damn, that's a way to make an entrance. Wow. They got me hooked in 2 notes. That is masterful. Holy shit. But yeah, you see, this is more the vibe I was expecting from the rest of the album. Like, you see, it kind of blew and you think, this is probably going to be a sad album, but no. First, you were surprisingly peppy for that expectation. This, on the other hand, this lives up to the album's title. Like, this makes me think I'm sitting in a cafe, like, in the rain. Sipping on some coffee, crying to the barmaid, that sort of feel. Yeah, Miles was not fucking around on that trumpet, damn. Starting and ending with crazy notes. And of course, the piano's going just a bit softer. So, what I was going to say last song, when I had to cut myself off for the saxophone solo, I'm not used to solos being very chordal. Like, I come from a guitar background. You expect single note solos. This is sort of a new experience to me. Speak of the devil. Surprisingly short solo. Right. Loving the feel of the song so far. This is my favorite so far. Surely it has nothing to do with the fact that it's what I expected. Much more even split of solos this time, too. That's the sort of structure I would want to go for if I was writing more serious jazz. Man, I love the trumpet tone on this. Damn, no wonder people recommend this album first. Alright, so I'm looking, this is going to be on the shorter side, but... Short, but oh so sweet. I can't tell if this is a head or not. I wasn't paying attention too well. Just sort of got lost in the vibe. So, sorry. That is nice. That is real nice. Nice ending solo. I like this. Brilliant use of dynamics there. So now, let's see. All blues. More living up to the title. And we're going back upbeat. Alright, interesting little head here. Simple, dynamically quiet. Interesting. I like that. Because you see, again, I'm from a metal background. Our idea of a quiet intro is just some clean guitars that are still compressed all to hell and still high volume, so... It's, definitely a different feeling. Pretty long head here. Would have expected them to jump into the solos, judging by the rest of the album so far, but it's cool. There we go. Ask and I shall receive. Alright. So the other special thing about this album is that it was one of the big landmarks of modality. Where in most music you would pick one key and stick to it. Here they just move around. Like, you change chords or change scales. Which is a very complex way of doing it. And that's a little reason why. But even then, this is still on the simpler side of jazz theory. It gets a lot crazier than this. Alright. Right. Yeah, see, when they play a chord harder than usual, that sort of jumps out at you. That's the interesting thing about dynamics. And again, it's something I'm not used to. I'm used to always play on 10 mentality. Nice. More sacks, more sacks. Let's see what's going on here. Nice, nice. Interesting contours he's going for there. Right, right. Right. Nice little transition piece. Okay, I think I'm starting to be able to tell the alto from the tenor sax. This is pretty clearly tenor. In context, that previous solo was pretty clearly alto sax. So that would mean this is Coltrane playing right now, and that was Cannonball Utterly a second ago. Man. So at the moment, I'm trying to pay a little more attention to the bass. It's probably doing something crazy by my standards, but by what I'm used to. But it's not really standing out. Like, this is clearly a. Then again, that makes sense. Going back to that same Adam Neely video I mentioned a little earlier, he mentioned that the bass pretty much takes the role of the drums do in all the genres I'm used to. The bass, is what settles the rhythm and all that. Alright, back to the head. So this is what I was talking about in previous songs. It's a very brief head, but they're still going back to it. More than not just bookending the song with it. It's what I would do. Then again, maybe that's more common than I think, because this album is over 6 years old at this point, so who even knows what sort of trends I'm not privy to. I guess I'm about to find out, because I have a long way to go before I get into modern jazz. I have a lot of evolution to go to. It's like the difference between listening to Kill 'Em All and the latest fucking Periphery album. There's a lot of evolutionary steps on this. Like, you might be able to enjoy them back to back, but you'll be left wondering, what the hell is going on here? Alright, back to the head again. Interesting. Little harmonized part. That makes sense. This is the final head. Almost to the end of the song, and by extension, close to the end of the album. Next one's the last one. It's been jazz time, but yes, welcome, Zach. Listen now, because this is not going to show up in the VOD if I did everything right. Which, if my test is any indication, I did. So yeah, we're actually almost done with this album. It's 5 songs long, but they were all pretty damn long. 9 minutes mostly, and this is actually the longest one. 11 minutes. Alright. Let me type in the last song, just ahead of time. So yeah, album finale. Let's see what we're in for. Let's see what we're in for this one. Right after this song ends. And there you go, it's over now. Let's see how this album ends. I would not expect proper flamenco from this. I would say it depends on context. Like, it's pretty perfect background music. It's very easy to talk over, very chilled and relaxed. Like, sure, it's technical and has a lot going on for people who actually like music to listen to and pick out, but it doesn't mind if you just ignore it and listen to it in the background. As opposed to all of my usual music. I'm used to music being the center of attention, just demanding everything. Like, you're going to listen to me, I'm going to be the center of attention, and you're going to fucking like it. This really isn't like that. But that's exactly what I love about my genres, but again, this is just exactly why I'm going on this little journey. And again, there we go. This one's a little more downcast. This is more what I would expect from an album with this title. Because again, kind of blue, you expect something sad. Sorrowful, soulful. But only 2 songs have really been that way. And this is the second one out of a 5-song album. Yeah, almost a dirge. Like, this is even more downcast than the last sad song on the album. Not that that's a bad thing. Right. Yep. Sad boy hours, exactly. Then again, there's probably even sadder jazz out there, if you look for it. But I'm not at that stage yet. Yeah, the one thing that sucks is that having to talk over this just for the sake of not getting DMCA'd live is sort of a meaning I can't really pay attention to the solos. But even by that standard, I would say this one's my favorite of the album so far as the saxophone. As far as trumpet, I would probably say Blue and Green was pretty obviously the winner there. For my taste, anyways. Because again, that was an attention grabber. Wow, that was subtle. That was like the opposite of the moment I was just talking about. Yeah, this is a subtle one. Downcast. Yeah, that's some nice tenor shit right there. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful run right there. Alright, just little vibe, little extra vibe. Piano. Very nice. Wow, that's the quietest moment of the album so far. That's actually pretty powerful. That would almost make me think. Not about anything specific, just in general. Just contemplative. And that's the other problem with talking over an album like this. Like, if I'm not careful, I can mute the whole thing entirely. But in the end, unfortunately, that's somewhat the point. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but I did originally schedule 4 albums, but I think I'm only going to do 3. If not only 2. We'll have to see how I'm doing after the second one. Because the other thing is, after this album's done, I have to get up for a moment, which is pretty close. 2 minutes or so. Oh, I see. The silence is part of the head. That's interesting. The main melody, for those of you who are like just joining me. That's sort of jazz terminology. Like, sometimes I go, real nuts, like, that's a stereotype, all solos all the time, but there is, sometimes I do go back to a theme. And that, in jazz terminology, that's the head. Alright, pretty nice trumpet solo. Second favorite, I would say. Track 3 still wins. Oh shit, vocals. Bro. Or is that just a really quiet trumpet? Couldn't really tell. Either way, it was cool. And there we go, we're done. So yeah, no wonder that's the usual recommendation for first jazz album. Like, that was some real nice sounding stuff. Very accessible. I didn't really get lost anywhere. Like, again, I don't have perfect pitch, so I can really deconstruct it live to any great degree, but still a nice introduction. I'm already looking forward to listening to more jazz, but first I gotta get up. So just stick around, hang tight for a second. I'll be back in a moment, and we'll listen to the next album. I'm back and ready to listen to the next album. Unfortunately, apparently I didn't have time to sing about a tapered. That's unfortunate. Hope he has a good rest of his shift. Anyway, so here we go. Next album. Idle Moments by Grant Green. And we're going to start with the title track, which is apparently something of a long boy. 15 minutes. That's fine. I don't mind long songs. Again, my favorite band is Metallica. Crazy long songs is something I grew up with. Guitar. Now, this is pretty much immediately right in my, already closer to my wheelhouse. Bells. Nice. Or a vibraphone, excuse me. Nice, slow and chill. So I'm going to talk over this. As much as I want to listen to this head, again, fair use. I gotta talk over it, give commentary. So the reason I chose this album for the next one is because on the chart I mentioned when we were talking over the first album, this was one of the recommended handful of albums for people who really enjoyed Kinda Blue and wanted something of a similar vibe. And I can see why listening to this right now. Very clearly the same wheelhouse. Very listenable, accessible. Like music to be listened to as opposed to music to be dissected. It can be dissected if you're into that, but... Oh, nice. Very nice soloing so far. See, this I'll have a lot more to say. Very, bluesy sort of feel. Nice. Very melodic so far. I want to say those are pentatonics, but I'm not sure. I have to dissect it more, but what I do know is it's pretty damn nice. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to listen back to this album and steal some licks from it. I love how the soloing sounds already. That was some nice chordal shit right there. Oh, I am loving this run. Yeah, I can tell, Kinda Blue was a classic for a reason, but this one I want to listen to. This one I want in my regular rotation. This one I want to listen to and study. Call it biased for guitar, but this sounds fucking incredible. Loving this. And this is Grant Green himself on guitar. Beautiful. Holy shit, that was a nice lick. This is a nice little phrase here. That's less is more right there. That was basically the same stuff over and over again, but that same stuff. That was one good lick. That's getting your money's worth. Speaking of, God, I'm loving this. Surprise piano. This is Duke Pearson playing. He has big shoes to fill, but... Well, listen. Give him a fair shake. Alright, nice little trill. Nice little trill. Nice. Uh, So I'm looking up facts while I listen to this about Mr. Green and his band, and this is interesting. This is something I would never do. So allegedly, he got his guitar tone by turning off the bass and treble and maxing the mids. He was doing gent before gent was cool. Because yeah, you listen to my metal, it's pretty scooped. Like, less so than, like, not Dimebag level scooped, but pretty scooped. I would never think to do that. Alright. Sax solo. This is Joe Henderson, and it's only him. Tenor sax. Nice, slow, bitey sort of character. Huh. They're big on repeating licks in this song. That's cool, though. But yeah, for my taste at least, Grant Green's steals the show here. Still on the show. Like, again, instrument bias, guitar is what I'm most familiar with, but even still, like, even by that standard. Alright, that sounds pretty cool. That was a nice stylish little lick. Liking that. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I am liking the sax solo, but again, I still stand by the guitar solo being my favorite, but this was a pretty close second. This gentleman vibraphone solo out of nowhere. Bobby Hunter said. Let's see what he's got. You know, it's funny, I mostly know this as the film noir instrument. I hear this and I think, film noir. Oh, that was a nice little bone mixture there. Interesting, interesting. Damn, that song is Trill City. That's cool. Yeah, first listen to this is already one of my favorite albums, pretty much ever, so. And we're not even one song in all the way. Still 2 minutes left. So I'm predicting they're going to go back to the head. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Nice. I don't think this is the same melody as the beginning, but still a cool one. Beautiful sound there. So we're almost done with this song. So okay, here, this is the original theme. All right. Well, I'm already excited for track 2. And a fun fact about this song: it being that long was actually an accident. It was supposed to be shorter, but I got confused as to whether there are how many measures that were actually supposed to solo for. So the rest of the wow, that's a different feel. I was not expecting that upbeat immediately afterwards. Then again, with songs with albums with this few songs, you gotta make the interest curve more interesting somehow. Yeah, this is real happy. Yeah, I don't know about this head, but we'll keep listening. Alright, here we go. This is more like it. I don't want to be mean and call the head cheesy, but this is significantly less so. Ain't nobody calling this cheesy. I love that flutter a second ago. Oh, I'm loving this. Oh, that was great. Uh, 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 love that lick. Solo transition. Surprised Grant always insists on going first. Alright, that was a good lick. So I will say, I'm actually getting pretty surprised by how loud this song is. I was talking about how dynamic the last album was, and the last song was pretty dynamic too, but this one, still nowhere near as loud as what I'm used to, but definitely skews more towards the loud end of the volume balance spectrum. Man, the vibraphone is such a left field instrument for me, but it's working in this context. Yep. You can already tell it's my second favorite. Second favorite solo of this song. Shoutouts to Bobby Hutcherson. That was real nice. Welcome back. Right. Oh man, this is even better than the first one, though. Damn. Nice melody here. Nice. Strange place to choose to fade up, but it's whatever. So, next up, we have Django. I'm back to something more relaxed. Alright. Interesting opening. Pretty sad, but not really tragic. I like this head. Very nice melody to come back to. But again, the head is nice, but I'm still looking forward to the solo. And I just realized, no. Here we go. Picking up a bit. This right here, this is the stuff. Brilliant. Nice vibraphone saxophone dialing in the background, but real nice, real nice. That was a nice lick. Real nice, real nice. Uh, wow. I like that transition. That was real attention grabbing. Alright. Strong opening from the sax. Let's see. Man, that was a nice little transition from slow to fast. Fast to slow, I mean. And the guitar is doubling the melody the sax was earlier. That's nice. Almost like a secondary head. Man, I barely knew what a vibraphone was coming into this, but suddenly I want to use it more. Like, this sounds good. Like, really damn good. Like, the highlight's obviously the guitar, but... that was a nice slick. Very nice, very nice. And that same melody again. Alright, nice piano solo so far. And I found the relevance of the name Django. It's apparently named after Django Reinhardt, the another guitarist. Very fitting. Here we go again. I already like this better than the first solo. The first solo was great. Man. Love this stuff. Yeah, I gotta look into this guy more after this. And the song's over, which means time for the last one. And that would be Nomad, I call this one. Let's see what you got. Wow, making a statement right away. Nice. Definitely prefer this song to the happier song on the album. Alright. Starting with the sax solo, I see. Interesting. They usually open with a guitar solo this album. Mixing up the formula nice and late. Wow. That's a smart use of silence. Knowing when not to play is just as important as knowing when to play. Liking this. I'd say this is my favorite sax solo on the album. Especially after that, like, damn. Nice. More trills, I dig it. Give me all the trills. Yeah, this is only reinforcing my opinion that, I'm glad I listened to this album. This immediately makes me happy I decided to look into jazz more. This album right here. This is incredible. And this is something I would never have heard of if I had stayed in my lane. This is, proof positive why you should expand your horizons a bit more. That was a nice repetition. Clever. And transition. I was thinking to myself, the sax solo was surprisingly long. Alright. So far, I'd say this is my second favorite track of the album. Title track still wins, but this is a pretty nice one. Which is funny, because you think Metalhead, you think, wow, he probably prefers it fast, and usually I do, but the vibes on that first one were just immaculate, hard to match. Yep, definitely favorite vibraphone album. Vibraphone solo of the album. Favorite one. That was some nice shit. Finally! It's like this album read my mind. I was like, where's a guitar solo? The lick he's playing right now sort of reminds me of The Lick, but it's not the exact one. Surprised I haven't heard that one yet, but guess it really is just a stereotype in the end. Maybe I'll hear more of it later. Guess we'll see. Nice. Man, I almost noticed some distortion on that one. That was pretty... Yeah, it can't be crazy. It's gotta be breaking up at least a little. It sounds great, just, nice. Yeah, again, sorry for the lack of commentary. I'm just, like, vibing hard at the moment. This guitar solo is shutting me up. I want to break this down. I want to incorporate this into my own music. So you may have noticed I have something of a formula when writing my solos. I usually go for a scalar shred and then more melodic pentatonic stuff. Do not be surprised if the pentatonic stuff sounds closer to this later on. Oh, this run. Oh, that was a fucking incredible run. This is an incredible run. God, I want to loop that solo a fucking night. That was incredible. And I just realized I forgot to count in for the Bond Watchers this album. That was my mistake. I'll fix it for the last album tonight. So yeah, next one is the last one. We'll cut it off at 3 albums, these shows. Alright. Nice piano solo so far, but that guitar solo, that was an impossible act to follow. Bless him for trying. Damn, son. So yeah, speaking of impossible acts to follow, so I have one last album lined up, but I'm not sure, it's gonna live up to this. But again, guitar bias. The next album, doesn't even include a guitarist, so... disadvantaged. But we'll give it a fair shot. And this one actually has two musicians in common with the first album, the Kind of Blue, Miles Davis. Wynton Kelly, who I forgot to bring up, he played piano on Freddie Freeloader, and then Paul Chambers was the bassist. I'll talk a little more about it. For the immediate moment, let's finish up Idle Moments. Head time. Dynamics. I got faked out. I thought that was going to be the very end. Very nice. Incredible ending to an incredible album. So yeah, I think that's gonna be, that will most likely be my favorite of the night. So once again, I gotta get up. So one more break, and then we'll jump into the last album. So yeah, another break. Just stick around for a moment. I'll be back momentarily. Alright, I'm back for the last time. So now we're about to jump into our final album, Soul Station by Hank Mobley. And we're going to start with the first song, Remember. Also, welcome Zop, good to see you. You're just in time for the last album of the night. So I'm going to start playing it in 3, 2, 1. So yeah, I was sort of nervous about getting into it, but so far the experiment's been very successful. We just got through listening to Idle Moments by Grant Green, and that immediately became one of my favorite albums ever on first listen. It was love at first listen there. I don't think I felt that hard that fast for an album since Master of Puppets, I think. Pretty crazy. So anyways, like I said it before, I'm following a chart. Specifically catered to people just getting into jazz, and so I started with Kinda Blue by Miles Davis. That's the recommended starting point. And it was a pretty good album. It was a good indication. It was no wonder they recommend that first. It was easy to follow, nice to listen to, nice and smooth. Saving for sax. Yeah, if I recall correctly, brass instruments are pretty damn expensive, even by instrument standards, so, doesn't help that I don't know what I'm doing with an instrument, so... Can't program on it, so... Don't know what I'm doing. But that's probably why the previous album, Idle Moments, resonated me with well, because, Bill Evans, no, we're gonna be listening to him, we're gonna be listening to him on another episode of this, although, he was one of the performers on Kinda Blue, so I've heard his work immediately. Was pretty nice, but again, I'm still too new to jazz to really parse piano solos. Like I said when we were listening. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So the chart I was mentioning. So the reason we're ending with this one is because it was one of the albums recommended for after listening to Kinda Blue, it branched off in 3 directions. And this album was one of the recommendations for if you thought you wanted something more traditional, something more old school jazz, less innovative. Yeah, chord choices, I see. Like I said, I do not have perfect pitch, and I'm still new to jazz, so I'm not at a level where I can really pick out harmonies and whatnot. I can't call out keys, I'm not that good yet. Because again, I barely ever work with 7 chords, so I can't really identify them by sound. But that's why I'm going on this little journey. So yeah, taking a break to breathe and actually listen to the damn album. Crazy. Piano solo. Wynton Kelly. Right. Come to think of it, if I was smart, I probably would have had my DAW open and try listening. Yeah, like I said, that's what I meant by perfect pitch, being able to just hear a song and go, oh yeah, that's in the key of so-and-so. I have pseudo-perfect pitch, I can pick out, listening to so much metal, I can pick out, A minor, A flat minor, D minor, pretty much anything that's in, you're pretty much jangling away on an open string for most of those songs, so I can pick out those keys easy enough. Yeah, relative pitch, that's the other thing. That's really what I'm talking about right now. Alright, like in this piano solo, again, this is Wynton Kelly, who again was featured on one song of Kinda Blue, the first album we listened to tonight. But again, I can't really distinguish by style yet. I'm liking the harmony here, at least. It's pretty smooth. Oh shit, a bass solo. Not gonna lie, I've been kind of starved for these all night. First two albums, the bass really didn't take center stage at all. Over before it began. That's unfortunate. Because, yeah, I get in jazz, the bass is the foundation, like, more so than the drums even, but... Even so, I like every instrument soloing sort of songs. Haven't really gotten that tonight. Maybe I will later. Especially if I get into the more daring albums that were recommended by the chart I keep bringing up. Alright, that's the first song of the album down. Next up, we got... Yeah, I've been doing this manually the whole night. And we have an interesting drum part, even better. Same story. The first couple of albums I listened to tonight, they were content to just hang back. Alright. I'm gonna try to seriously listen to the head this time. I ignored the last song. Just to see if I can pick it out later. Alright, I think I got it memorized. And we're starting on piano. Let's see. He's playing a nice rhythm here. Alright. See again, I have trouble paying attention to piano parts, but this, I'm liking how this sounds so far. Alright, more major, more happy. But that's fine. It's funny, despite it being my favorite album so far tonight, Idle Moments did have one particular song that did sound kind of cheesy at certain parts. But this song, I'm not getting that vibe, even though it's in minor. And here we go. Mr. Mobley. So again, going back to the last album, Grant Green. I loved his guitar playing, and it turns out I had a feeling why. Because he was not influenced by guitarists, he was influenced more by saxophonists, like this guy. So that means he had breath dynamics in mind when he was playing his solos. Then again, coming from a metal background, I'm more used to just listening to people shred, so... Yeah, circular breathing. I've heard some stories about that being crazy. Which reminds me of, I actually have had a tutorial in my YouTube watch later for months now about a circular breathing tutorial. And I'm like, yeah, I should watch that at some point. Despite the fact that I don't even play any breathing instruments. Besides the harmonica, but that's not really anything serious. I really should sit down and seriously practice that, but just add it to the list of shit I need to do. Right. But yeah, while it would be pretty impressive to hear, like, God knows how long string of notes, there is something to be said about knowing when not to play. I've come to a point of maturity where, I don't mind when solos take a pause every now and again. Adds, dynamics, interests, all that sort of thing. Drum solo. Another thing I was starved for tonight. Oh, that's a nice one. Holy shit. That was incredible. Damn, these rolls. Up. And some side hits. That's even better. I fucking love this. Man, I really hope I hear more drum solos doing this jazz listening shit, because drum solos I can actually dissect, because again, drums are in metal. Drum solos are a thing in metal, so... I'd be able to dissect those a little better. Oh shit. It was over before I knew it. Alright, so next up we got... Dig Dis. Much more sedate opening here. But I can't get too comfortable. We'll see how crazy it gets. Maybe it'll get crazy, maybe it won't. Nice little snare roll. So yeah, I would say this is my second favorite out of the 3 albums so far. They were all good, but I can see why I kind of blew as a starting point. But again, so much more solo variety in this album. Loving it. This is what I came to jazz expecting. Wanting everybody to take solos. I want to hear musicianship out the ass. That's what I'm here for. Technicality, that's what I like. Liking the dynamics here. These start stops. Call and response, that's what I meant, not start stop. That's a real interesting vibe. Loving this. But again, call and response is a common thing in metal, so no wonder I'd be able to pick up on that. And I don't even listen to any metal that really takes a lot of influence from jazz, like I listened to Cynic and Atheist like a couple of times when I was a teenager, but nothing too in depth. And I don't listen to much gent either, so... Like, the closest I can think of is, like, Dream Theater or Rush, prog bands, but... It's not exactly the same lineage. Hard to tell, really. What I do know is I like technicality. Jazz emo adjacent. Really from? That's interesting. That's something I'd have to look up once I'm a little more familiar. Pretty crazy, pretty nutty. Plus, if I recall correctly, real underground emo tends to get really technical anyway, so if it explicitly dips into jazz territory, I can imagine it's pretty mind-bending. I bet that'd be fun to listen to. Midwest emo with saxophone. That's what reminds me of those people who call ska punk with horns. Like, it's probably not that, it's probably not that shoehorned in, I would bet. Like, they probably blended in a little better. Do they? Alright. Yeah, the vibes are immaculate here. You know, it's funny, the piano is the thing that's mainly standing out to me in this album, besides the bass and drum solos. I mean, I suppose I do need to learn too, but the thing is, I have easy bass, and that comes with a walking bass line out of the box. So I wouldn't really need to think, but knowing how to make them from scratch would be helpful. Would be a nice change of pace from the, again, the metal thing of usually just doubling the rhythm guitar. Which I don't even do most of the time. I usually prefer to have it follow the snare and bass. As opposed to here, where, assuming it's not the other way around, the bass would be following just the kick drum. When I write bass lines, I tend to prefer having the kick and the snare in my bass line. Just, more note density. Alright. And that's the end of side A. On to side B. Starting with Split Feelings. Already about what I would expect for that title. Nice head melody. Brief head melody. Just launching into the solos right away. That's a way to do it. Wonder what crazy solos we'll have in this song, if any. All the solos. Give me all the solos. This is my favorite sax solo so far. Like, again, I have a hard time really following them just because I don't know how to play the instrument, but I know a good melody when I hear one, and there were some decent ones on this album so far. Alright. And Solo Swap. It's funny how these albums have been reading my mind so far. Just, I keep thinking, man, I really hope they switch instruments soon, and it happens as soon as I think of it. I guess I'm more up with music than I thought. Like, again, I'm not really counting measures or anything, but, fantastic. More drum solos, yes. Never mind, that was just a fill. Never mind, they're doing some call and response shit. I dig it. Loving it. That was a beautiful roll. Loving this. And here we have an unconventional beat. Love that. As brief as it was. And we're back at it. Yeah, I think this is my favorite song on the album. So far. And the song's over. So now... it's title track time. And second to last song of the night, on top of that. Soul Station. And yeah, that last song was pretty incredible. Real nice, real nice. Song's about what I expect so far, but this is the longest song of the album. It's 9 minutes long, so there's plenty of time for them to go another whatever other direction they please. But again, most of the albums, we had some long boys this stream. Like the other two albums had songs that were like 15 to 10 minutes long. That's jazz. That's jazz. They love their long boys, and I'm fine with that. Again, I was raised on Metallica. They barely knew how to make a song shorter than 5 minutes, so if the music's good enough, I have plenty of attention span. And the music tonight has been good enough, to say the least. Alright, nice and chill. got some nice melodic stuff going on here. Liking it. And I just saw something. I'm not gonna kill the vibe. I'm just gonna keep listening. Finding myself wondering, who's gonna be next up to solo. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's right, I'm barely listening to the start of the album. It's unfortunate, but that's on me. I'm a pleb. Don't know shit about sax, so I can't really appreciate it. But again, 9 minutes long. You might be at this for a bit. I will say he brought his A game on this solo. I actually don't mind his taking that long. And at long last, instrument switch. Let's see what Mr. Kelly has. We're doing a bit of swinging. Nice and smooth. Still really hoping the rest of the band gets solos. That's my favorite part of the album so far. Watching the backup get to show what they got. That was some fun shit. Alright, that was a pretty nice lick. And my wish has been granted. Let's max this shit out. Bass solo, baby. This is why I'm glad to get into jazz. More interesting bass lines. And on average, more talented bassists. That's the stuff. Very nice, very nice. I was hoping they'd launch into a drum solo, but... yeah, we got one more song. So yeah, we're almost done for the night. And they're going back to the head. They haven't done much of that this album, from what I notice. Nice, nice. Love this melody. Perfect way to end. Yeah, I think I'm ready to properly get into jazz now. I'm really glad I'm doing this. This was an amazing call on my end. And now, for the grand finale. If I should lose you. Surprisingly upbeat for a song with that title. Nothing wrong with that, just, So let's prepare ahead of time. I've already picked out who I'm rating. We're gonna be rating the Evening Primrose. Elf Lady, so you know I'm all over that shit. And if you came here to relax, then you're in luck, because she's reading ASMR. It's Sunday night. That's her thing. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm ready to wind down a bit more after this. But yeah, definitely need to study Idle Moments at least. That was some incredible guitar playing. And this album had its moments, but I rescind what I said earlier. I think I liked Kind of Blue second best. Then again, it's like picking between my children. These were all great albums. They all have fantastic aspects to them. But yeah, Idle Moments was a far and away winner here. Definitely need more albums like that. Give me all the jazz guitar. Need more of it. Need all of it. Yeah, exactly. It's just a start. I know I'm in for some wild shit later on. And I'm looking forward to exploring all of that. But that's for another night. For the immediate moment, we're just gonna let the band finish up here, and then, I'll just go ahead and bounce. Some beautiful shit. Loving this. But yeah, out of these three, if I were to actually dig through the back catalog, it would easily be Grant Green. Like, he blew me away with his playing. That's the sort of soloing I want to write, at least partially. But again, this album had a lot of solo diversity. Every member of the band got to solo at least once. And that's the sort of arrangement I love in every genre, so that's how it is. So yeah, well ahead of time, this is our raid message once we're out of here. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And once again, for good measure, it's accurate, I would say. But yeah, this will definitely be episode 1. I'm definitely going to be doing this again soon. Not sure how soon, but soon, definitely. And again, apologies to the VOD watchers for this being only my voice, but you had ways. Like I said, I do have the albums listed. I was nice and diligent about making sure the song titles and albums were right there on screen. I could have side-tubed it, but risk mitigation. Alright, final melody of the album. Let's see what I got. So yeah, for next episode, I know I wanted to do John Coltrane's Love Supreme tonight, but I'm a little too white for that. Mentally and physically, so that'll be one of the albums for next time. Alright, bring it home, boys. Fantastic. I'd say I had a pretty damn good introduction to the genre tonight. So that'll do it for that. Let's go ahead and go say hello to Prim. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thank y'all for coming. See you all for whatever the hell I plan on doing next. Don't know what. Till next time, take it easy.